What's happening, everybody? You know, have you ever seen the movie Star Trek The Motion Picture? It came out like in the 70s, I believe. And horribly underrated, incredible film. And really ahead of its time, really. And I mean, I've always been a fan of Star Trek, but this is a lot different than like your average Star Trek episode or anything like that. The plot is much different. If you want to see it, I mean, I got it for $3 on YouTube, actually a long time ago. But I don't know why I'm bringing it up today. I've just kind of been contemplating all day long about, what is consciousness and what is incarnation and what makes something alive, and just sort of meditating on the idea of aliveness or being alive or sentience. And it's a lot more complicated than we make it out to be, I think, especially incarnation and the various multitudes upon multitudes of possibilities when it comes to what our incarnation into an avatar even is to begin with. Just like I say with everything else, it doesn't have to be a certain specific thing and that's it. While every possibility can be met, like, for example, one soul is an alien soul in suspended animation, floating through space, splitting his consciousness. Another soul is directly from source, reincarnating through group souls, through his group soul, perhaps on his own. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. So I'm going to ruin the movie a little bit. So if you want to see it, don't listen to this. But it's basically about this machine that it travels through space, like it's emitting the signal, and they can't figure out what it is. And it's approaching Earth very rapidly. And so the Starship Enterprise goes and investigates what it is. And upon entering it, it's like this just gargantuan mega structure that's like the size of a solar system, essentially. And it sends this kind of anthropomorphic version of itself. It's like this supercomputer consciousness, this machine. That's actually kind of what they call it in the movie. I forgot the exact name that they used. But this female arrives, this woman arrives on the Enterprise, and she's basically there collecting data. So she's this soulless, completely analytical robot, no heart, no soul, that is simply traversing space, internalizing and processing data to essentially discover its origin. And it swallows everything in its path. So everything that it encounters, it essentially effectively destroys, because it just becomes part of the machine. So when the Enterprise was traversing the interior of the ship, the machine, it was seeing other worlds, other solar systems and galaxies that were swallowed up by the machine, and it was kind of playing it out all around itself in a screen. And they were seeing all these kind of events playing out from this machine taking over, right? Um, so, um, long story short, there's like a conflict that takes place between the female robot and the starship, and they're trying to convince it basically not to swallow up the earth. So what they do is the female robot agrees to take him to the very heart, or like the hard drive of its processor, so to speak. So they go very deep into the machine, and upon entering the very kind of nucleus of the machine, they discover that it's a U.S. satellite from our time, basically. And so basically they discovered, the machine discovered the origin, but there is a catch. So upon processing this data and all of its surroundings, it also fell in love with the ship's captain. Not Captain Kirk. So there was two captains on the ship. Captain Kirk later took over, if you see the movie. After the machine falls in love, she merges with the captain, and they fuse together, and it explodes. Like, it becomes like this scene that is like something of a plasma explosion, right? So everything just gets enveloped in this white light, and there's this kind of fusion that took place because you see, the captain was the natural man and the woman was the machine. So this is analogous of the machine merging with man. After the machine merged with man, the structure itself of the machine exploded in ecstasy. Really gives it, makes you think, doesn't it? What is the goddess Kali dancing for? Did CERN bring her in so that she can dance once the man merges with machine in the first singularity we discussed the other day? It's tough because it's frustrating. Even after all my experiences, my near-death experience, being in the midst of heavenly light, being in hell in my hellish experience, being in the depths of absolute darkness, in all my other dreams and visions and out-of-body experiences, I've also had UFO experiences and ghosts and everything paranormal you can imagine under the sun. Reading countless books, praying, meditating, years and years on end, days on end, searching, seeking. I don't feel all that much closer to what's really going on. If it wasn't for things like the Mandela effect, if at least this earth remained as the natural one that I remember, I wouldn't have been going insane over this stuff. But since that is very much the case, I need answers, and I'm tired of speculating. Anyway, I'm getting off topic again. I wanted to tell you guys about that movie, and even after I spoil it for you, I highly recommend you see it because it's incredibly underrated, well acted, and well made, and it's Star Trek: The Motion Picture.